In today's video, we're going to discuss one of the creational patterns. It's called abstract factory pattern. Okay, and so what is basically a factory? Factory is a place where normally you create a product. Product could be a pen or a pencil, for example, right? And it has got the product has got uh, some blueprint. So if you see, object orientation is nothing but a real life parallelism. So you can say a blueprint is a class, okay, and object is a pane. Now a factory, abstract factory pattern is a kind of a factory implementation where you can create an object. Now suppose in this example, we are creating an object which is license validation invoker. Okay, it's something, this object deals with something to do with this license of this product. Okay, and is derived from uh, this interface. Okay, now to create this object, we are creating a class which is called license validation invoker. Okay, so this class actually implements the interface of that particular factory. So this is the class where I will implement the factory for that particular object that I have just shown. So here is the interface definition of that factory object. Okay, so it has got a simple one method which create license validation invoker, and it creates that object reference in the form of interface. Okay, so it's a good practice in always not to expose your object, rather than expose your object through an interface. So this is a very standard practice. Okay, so now if I go to this factory method, sorry, the factory. So you see that whatever I have shown in the interface, this is the function where that particular object is being created. Okay, and we are holding a single instance of that factory, because normally in real life you will have one factory for a particular pen, right? So that way only one factory for creating the object of this type, license validation invoker. Okay, so to expose this singleton reference of that license factory, license validation invoker factory, so we are implementing a static function get object. Okay, and we are creating that factory object, and then this factory object will once the reference is there, we will call this function to create this object. So let us show that. Let me open that main. Okay, so here is a. So we are creating some objects which are required for creating that factory invoker to for creating that factory invoker object. Okay, so here is a factory um, reference where we are calling that get object and creating the reference. If the reference is not equal to null, then we are creating certain objects which are required for creating that before creating that license validation invoker. Here is the call where we are creating the object license validation invoker. So let's put a breakpoint out here. So let's run this program. Okay. Just hold on, I'm getting some errors. I think I have to fix them first. Yeah. So, okay. So you have got the idea, right? I'm not able to run this program right now because there are some um, errors that have been thrown. So I have to fix it. Um, so I'll make sure that I am able to run a program next in my next video. So you got the idea, right? So it's a very simple concept where you have an object that need to be created. That object, first you have to define that object interface. Okay, that particular object class interface, and then you have to implement that interface to implement that interface in a class of that object. Then you have to define a factory interface, okay, as I have shown you, which will have a create function, and then uh, mm, this factory interface will be implemented in the factory class. Okay, and the factory object will be a singleton one, and you just get the reference to a get object call, uh, singleton reference, and then once you get the object reference, you just call the create method to create that object type, that object of that particular class for which you have implemented the factory. Okay, thank you guys.